Today we're looking at the updates to the American Express Gold card. We'll cover the changes, the new credits, and the pros and cons of the card. Big favor before we dive in is to hit the like button to help with the algorithm. If you're new, consider subscribing. First one is going to be the color. With the launch of the updated card, there's now a white gold version. This is available to all card members as of today, July 25th, 2024, until supplies last. If you currently have a gold card, whether the normal one or the rose gold, you can request a white gold while supplies last, so I'd probably do it in the next week or two. Super easy, just log into your account and there should be an option. Press the top left menu, then account services, find card management, press replace a card, and finally I want to change my card's design. Reminder that the color doesn't materially change the benefits of the card. One big change though is the annual fee. People probably won't be happy with this, but I think it does make sense and pretty fair once you look at the full picture. The old annual fee was $250 and this was from 2018 until now. The new one is $325. This is a $75 increase, about 30%. Not ideal by any means, but technically it does track with inflation. Same way of how a can of soda from a vending machine might have costed a quarter back in the day. If you currently have the card, it does depend on when your next annual fee is due. October 1st, 2024 is going to be the key date that you need to be aware of. If you renew before this date, then this means that you renew at $250 for another year. If on the other hand you renew on or after October 1st, then it's $325. If you're renewing at $250, then you're getting the best of both worlds, the lower annual fee, but still the new credits. Of course, if you're not a fan and you still want to cancel, then go for it, but I'd run through the math and think about it logically. I think there are some people that are going to rage quit, even though it does work in their favor, at least for another year. With that said, let's look at the credits. With annual fee cards, credits are the big equalizer, making it more accessible and more affordable. Enrollment is required for each one and terms do apply. Pre-2018, the card had a $195 annual fee and you got up to $100 as an airline fee credit. Best case would be $195 minus $100, means that you have a $95 effective annual fee. With the last iteration, they made it even better. So $250 annual fee, but up to $120 is a dining credit broken down monthly, and up to $120 for Uber, also broken down monthly. Best case would be $250 minus $120 minus $120 is a $10 effective annual fee. If you could use all the credits, the card became cheaper. Otherwise, you would need to realize $155 in value from the up to $240 new credits to make it the same as the past iteration. With the current one $325 annual fee, you have the same dining credit and Uber credit, and they're adding up to $100 for Resi that's broken down semi-annually, so every 6 months, and up to $84 as a Dunkin' credit broken down monthly. Best case would be $325 minus $120 minus $120 minus $100 minus $84 is a negative $99 effective annual fee. So best case, if you can use all the credits and you value them at the face value, then you're getting about $99 in value. Another way to think of it is that you're paying $75 more, but you're getting up to 100 Resi and up to 84 in Dunkin'. If you can realize $75 in value from the 184, then it's effectively matching the old card. If you're in a city, especially New York and Boston, then this is going to be pretty easy. Sometimes I feel like cards are tailor-made for New York. If on the other hand you're in smaller towns, then you're in a weird spot. Especially so if the card previously made sense, and maybe now it doesn't make as much sense. There also are some pretty sizable cities on the West Coast that have drawn the short straw. Seattle is the best example of this to me. They're a major city, a big tech hub, and they haven't had a Dunkin's since 2002. For the Resi credit, you can go to any restaurant that's in their network and you're good to go. I feel like the one here is a bit more reasonable than the one from the Delta cards since it's semi-annual instead of monthly. Even if you are saving money and being a bit more frugal, I think it's reasonable to have one date night every 6 months. There also is a minor change to the dining credit. Milk Bar and Shake Shack are out and they're swapping in Five Guys. As we've seen with prior iterations, the goal isn't necessarily getting to zero, but getting to a number that makes sense for you. For some people, it might be a $100 effective annual fee. For others, it might be zero. And for even other ones, it might only make sense if you get value from the card and it becomes a keeper. That part's long term, but in year one, it probably makes sense. Main reason for this in the next section is intro bonuses. The limited time offer has two components. First one is 60,000 Amex points after 6,000 in spend in the first 6 months. Second part is 20% back on restaurants worldwide, and you get up to $100 back. In this case, you'd want to spend at least $500 times 20% to get that 100. For Amex points, it really depends on how you want to use them. 60K could easily be worth between $360 to $660 and upwards of $1,200. If you're redeeming your points as a statement credit, then you're only getting 0.6 cents per point which is 360 in value. If on the other hand you're redeeming it through Amex Travel, you're getting 1 cent per point, and that's 600 in value. If you have a Schwab Platinum card and you're running that system, you can get 1.1 cents per point, so 660. Finally, on the top end, if you are transferring out to partners, target value is about 2 cents per point, but really depends on you there, and in that case, that's 1200 in value. Transfer partners is pretty much expert mode, but that's how a lot of normal people fly first in business and go to cool destinations. On that note, if you are someone that wants to learn more about this card or pretty much any other card out there and you want to support the channel, we do have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive and that the cards make sense for you, but otherwise it is a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. Also, I'd recommend checking Card Match to see if you have the 90k targeted offer. I'll link it down below, and it should also pop up if you Google Card Match Ask Sebby. 30-second check, but might get you a lot more points. In addition to the annual fees and credits, we're also seeing some changes to the multipliers. With the refresh, you still have the same 4x on restaurants, but now it's capped off at 50k in spend per year. US supermarkets isn't changed, and same thing with airfare. They did add a 2x on prepaid hotels, but to me and most people, that shouldn't move the needle. For most people, the multiplier changes are immaterial and probably don't affect you. In a lot of ways, this change was very targeted towards big spenders and also business people that had to wine and dine customers. Basically people that had to take people out and spend a ton of money. It also either intentionally or unintentionally made the case for the Amex Business Gold. So that card also has dining as a 4x category, but with a substantially higher cap. Even though it is shared, that might make more sense now. Okay, so if you already have the card, should you keep it or cancel it? To me at least, until the annual fee increases for you, you might as well keep it. The card is functionally the same and you're now getting more credits and more value. You're pretty much getting the cake and eating it too. One big exception is if you were only using the dining credit through either Shake Shack or Milk Bar and none of the other ones. In that case, the economics might be a bit tougher and I'd run the numbers. Another one is if your life circumstances have changed and so has your spending. If you want to cancel it to send a message, then go for it, but I would strongly recommend running the numbers. Also, even if you are set to cancel once the fee does increase, it might still make sense to wait for everyone else to do it, to be cannon fodder, and then go yourself. The rationale being that if Amex has a lot of cancellations, higher than their threshold, then they're probably going to start giving retention offers. In that case, the more people that cancel, the better your odds. If we go on Flyer Talk and compare the offers from 2023 to 2024, there are more offers in 2024. I think there is a pretty interesting meta to it. Okay, so I don't have the card. Should I apply for it? If you were min-maxing, then there's an argument for Chase and 524 and all of that stuff. But if you didn't care about that and you only looked at this in isolation, then it depends. For me, the main consideration is year one and whether I can hit the intro bonus. If I can, it makes sense and it's worth getting. The credits, the multipliers, and everything else is more of a year 2 and onwards thing, so whether it makes sense to keep. End of the day, you're not getting married to the card. You can always try it out, see if you like it, and if not, you can move to a different one. Again, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. If you made it to this point, leave a donut emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. 3 questions: what are your thoughts on the new credits? Would you get the card? And would you keep the card? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favor, thumbs up, consider subscribing, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.